Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make this quick video about the weak auras, add-ons and macros that I used for the World to First T5 run and that I use on a daily basis. I also do want to say thank you for everyone who has been watching the videos, tuning into the live stream over on Twitch at Straw, of course. And of course, I will have a document down in the description down below where all the macros and weak auras are going to be shared for you guys. Hopefully this video is helpful and can help you guys take it that small step further, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, so let's have a look at the weak auras. So my first and probably one of the more important weak auras that I have is this one. I'll of course have I'll link in the description down below a Google document which contains all my weak auras, all my macros, everything. But this basically shows if anyone is whirlwinding or getting MC'd in the raid. It's like a visual marker. For instance, if this mob was whirlwinding, it would be like a red dot on him, and it would be a countdown with the timer for how long the whirlwind lasts. Pretty nifty to have. This is just this here, doesn't matter too much. This just basically shows on top of the plate bar stuff like this. Not too important, but it definitely can be nice to have, especially if you're like a warrior with Sunders or Demo Shout and all that stuff. Yeah, then furthermore, raid mana is not important, it just shows all the mana users' mana. Shamanistic Rage is this one, which quite a few people have been asking for. You can just import this. It will be this size in this position, but you can obviously move it around and also make it bigger if you want to. I will say though, it's really not that important, especially at max level. You shouldn't have issues. I never adjust my rotation because of this. It was basically more when I leveled. Swing timer is this one. I'll get back to that one, I think. Time to kill basically just shows how much time is left, estimated time to where the mob is gonna die. And this fair ward is just a icon whenever you have a fair ward up on you. And that's all I used for the live run for the world first. So let's talk about the swing timer, because a lot of people have been asking about macros and how I use it. Some people even noticed that I spam it, but I spam my macro. So this is the macro. This is the macro. Pretty standard. Nothing like peculiar about it. What you do want to do though, I'll show easy here. So the top one is main hand. The bottom one is offhand. And you do want to try to hit the macro, which I have placed on 2 here, at when it's about the halfway mark. I would just practice and try to get a feel for it. So if I can fuck it up right there. So I would try to press about there. But yeah, oh my god, yeah. So the offhand has to be before. So this is why I spam it. Because whenever you, like, clicking this basically resets your offhand and main hand. So you want to kind of just tap it until you are halfway with your main hand. And there it should be synced up. Whenever this is green, that's the indicator that your main hand is first. This blue, it's gonna go to green or gray pretty shortly. Let's see if it actually works on this mob. Oh, I guess it's immune. But yeah, so this blue bar will be grayed out. That just means that the eternal 3-second cooldown for Storm Strike, or Wind Fury, I mean, sorry, is on cooldown. And yeah, and usually when doing this is like the perfect way you want it. This is not great. You don't want them to be perfectly lined up, because then it's a 50-50 if it's your main hand or offhand swinging first. So you kind of want to sync them, but you also want to stagger them like just a tiny bit. And the closer you can get, it doesn't matter that much, but usually the closer you can get to the offhand hitting immediately after the main hand,
is gonna be like in the long term higher DPS, but it doesn't matter too much to as long as the bar here is green, you're within the range that you need to be. And we obviously do this because instead of using one for the offhand, one for the main hand, if you hit within half a second of each other, the main hand and offhand, it counts as one swing instead of two when it comes to flurry stacks. So it's gonna be a lot more uptime. Basically, gonna have a shit ton of it, to be honest. For instance, I can show some of my logs from the will first. Let's show Lurker here. Okay, let's look at buffs. Go to me. And flurry. Yeah, so it's 94% uptime. And probably the few times where it's not up, that might be me just fucking up, or it might be bad luck with crits. Yeah. So I'm just gonna post this to YouTube, as a lot of people have been asking, and I will link all my weak auras in the description below, as I said. We could also look at some of them in macros. I will do a more in-depth guide to being a melee in T5. It seems a lot of people are struggling with it. A lot of unnecessary deaths and stuff. But basically, these are the ones I mainly use. Storm Strike, a focus kick, just a normal click where I kind of mod it to where I can to where if I press Alt here, it will it's gonna cast rank 1 Earthshock in case you're low on mana or shit. Then furthermore, we have Sappers. This basically just casts a super Sappers charge, and then starts a 5-minute cooldown, which is the cooldown for the item. And if you press it again within the next 4 minutes, it's gonna cast a Goblin Sapper charge instead, which is the vanilla classic ones. So you can use both. They only share a minute cooldown. Then this is just a little thing I made. It's just this one. Whenever I didn't want 2 buttons for Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. So if I ever use this, it's gonna cast Chain Lightning, but then if I hold down Control, you can see it swaps to Lightning Bolt, which is the mod right there. Yeah, it's pretty okay whenever, like for instance on Hiking Mulgar, if you have to run out for the Whirlwind, it's just ease of use in my opinion. Then we have equip weapons, nothing big there. Unequip weapons. This is really nice for Vash, especially for those who are struggling with like mind controls, especially for melee. Because if you get mind controlled as a melee, you kind of clap everyone, right? And you, especially like clothies and healers, you clap them pretty hard. So I don't think we did it in the world first run, but what we definitely were practicing, and we're probably definitely gonna do in splits, is using this macro. It's gonna unequip both my weapons, which is the slot 16 and 17. If you're two-hander, just use the 16 this first line, and you should be fine. So it's gonna unequip that and put it in main backpack. So I use a bag add-on here. So make sure that you have 2 slots in the main backpack. This one right there. If you don't have that, the macro doesn't work. But if I press this, it's gonna unequip, put it in the main backpack, and I would do this when it's like 2 to 3 seconds before the previous MC is like counted down. It's a 20-minute debuff. When it's like 2 or 3 seconds left, I press this macro. Then whenever I see who gets the MC, and as long as it's not me, I just press the equip and it's back on. yeah, it's a very useful macro, especially for melees to use on Bash in phase 3. Then I just have this generic, easy, simple thing that I pop whenever we are doing skips. It's Parachute Cloak for slow fall, which we used to get the Lurker and to Water Walk. It's the Rocket Boots. It's also Swift Boots. I try to get everything into one. And it's also the cloaking device that we used at the first KT skip for the first hallway there. And yeah, like that's mostly everything I use. I don't use this. This is a cast sequence to get all your totems down with only one button. But I very much prefer to have everything binded manually for the totems. And yeah, guys, so that's basically my weak auras and macros. Add-ons are, I guess I can just show it real quick. It's just the normal stuff, Atlas Loot. Everything combat related is classic cast bars, classic aura durations, details as my damage meter. Item rack, I don't really use this as enhance, but can be very nice if you have like different sets you need to swap in between pulls. MSBT is the scrolling combat text I get, which is not the default ones. So everything going up here, these are buffs and stuff. Here's the damage I take, here's the damage I do. All of that stuff is MSBT, and super. It's like pretty good whenever you get it. Not a lot of setup. And let's see, what else do we got? Classic Threat 2, which is my threat meter. This one here. You can also use the details one, the plugin. Shouldn't be too much else, I think. Totem timers. I have had a lot of questions about this right here and this right here. This is all totem timers. Everything is totem timers. I think initially you get everything like kind of stacked on top of each other, but just drag it to where you want it. It's pretty simple. Give it a few minutes and you'll easily be able to figure it out. Shouldn't be too hard. Of course, if you have any questions and I can't figure it out, feel free to reach out on Discord to me. And yeah, and then Questio, of course, and DMB, which is kind of poggers, and of course Weakara. And with that, you should be good to become a great player, boys. So yeah.
Okay guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you. If you have any feedback, both positive and negative, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Also, make sure to check out my Discord, linked in the description down below as well, of course. And I hope this was of some use and helpful for you guys. And if there's anything else you would like me to make a video about, something to explain, some guides, whatever it might be, feel very free to reach out to me. Thank you. Have a good day.